Ah, the Crucible, the absolute fucking cancer of Destiny. It's always been a problem since Destiny 1, and now all the problems and more have transferred over to this shit. And the worst part is, the changes that were made were with MLG in mind and bringing in more casual fans. Oh, fuck me, of all groups to think about, these are the last pieces of shit to bother. It's like catering to a YouTube auditor while being told to go fuck himself. Oh man, you know, I've never liked the Crucible. I've made no secret about that. I only play this shit when I have to. I never really play it because I want to. I play it because there are rewards in that motherfucker that I would like to have. I don't play the Crucible for shits and giggles because I'm bored. It's part of the game. It's something I can skip and avoid entirely, but then I'll be missing out on parts of the game. So I play it. The shit annoys me, I get my rewards, and I move the fuck on. But that doesn't mean Bungie can't improve the shit, because the changes that Destiny 1 made to Destiny 2 were meant to take into account the issues that the game had with certain guns and abilities. Some changes work, but most of them don't. The biggest problem that the Crucible has right now is an identity crisis. It really doesn't know what the fuck it wants to be and who it's supposed to appeal to. The overwhelming majority of this game was dumbed down from Destiny 1 to keep casual players interested. Hence the idea of tokens and the simple call to arms rewards. They were all introduced, but I'll get more on that in a second. All of Destiny 2 has been changed to keep the most casual players interested and not feeling like they have to sink countless hours into the game to feel rewarded. Until you get into the Crucible, where the game also wants to cater to MLG and pro gaming. Another fucking cancer that you come up with. I mean, seriously, this couldn't be two of the furthest groups of players that you're trying to mold shit to, because it's an utter fucking nightmare trying to pair this shit up. First and foremost, all of the changes that we've had, it's the 4 versus 4 format that's a problem. Apparently, Bungie forgot how to math. They know how to count money. They know how to count that MLG money, but they sure as fuck don't know how to do basic math in their own fucking game. Every mode in the Crucible was changed to a 4 versus 4 mode, including games that were originally 6 versus 6 and 3 versus 3. Clash, Control, Rift, and Supremacy, they were all 6-man teams. Skirmish, Salvage, Elimination, of course with Trials, they were 3-man teams, and that keeps up with the theme of Destiny's content. But competitive gaming likes the 4-man team modes, and Destiny 1 didn't have that as a default option. Now, it's the main default option. No more 6-man teams or 3-man teams, because they wanted to make sure this game was MLG ready the day people wanted to be competitive in this shit. Meanwhile, every player versus environment activity, PvE, is meant for 3 or 6 players. Even their promotional material always shows off their 3 characters. You ever see their commercial? You know what I'm talking about? The live action spots? It's always 3 characters with the Titan, Hunter, and Warlock. There's honestly no reason to take each character in any activity, because it's not like their powers work off of each other or something. It's not like we have the traditional roles of a tank, a healer, and a damage dealer. Sure, they've added some elements of traditional RPG games like that. We have the wall for the Titan or the healing rift for a Warlock, but that isn't necessary to pass the content in any way, shape, or form. But anyway you fucking slice it, this doesn't fit MLG rules. Destiny does not have content for 4-man teams. We don't have a 4th class. We weren't given a 4th class in the game unless it's coming via DLC in the future. We don't have 4 traits to our characters. You know, like in Destiny 1 we had intellect, discipline, and strength. Each character could potentially specialize in that. They didn't, but in theory, it could have worked that way. Now, we have mobility, resilience, and agility all on our armor. All of that was in Destiny 1 through your abilities, but now it's solely part of your armor, removing the intellect, discipline, and strength. There's no 4th power, no 4th ability, no 4th trait. The ideal of 3 classes balancing each other out is gone, because now each team would take an additional character. Which one would you take? Well, it depends on what the community feels is best class right now. I mean, you can have a Hunter, Titan, and Warlock, but what's the 4th class? Oh, I want to take a Titan. They're the best power right now. They have the best grenade. Oh, I want to take a Warlock because I want 2 healing rifts. Oh, I want to take a Hunter because no fucking reason why. I gotta talk about Hunters another day. But anyway, getting back into this shit, they removed Rumble, so there's no more solo playing. Objective games have changed with countdown and elimination modes. The whole concept of 4 versus 4 does not mathematically fit. The only thing it fits is money. Because if MLG games want to fit 4 versus 4 modes, then Destiny 1 was never going to match that mode. Now, they already do. Doesn't fit the game, but it sure as fuck fits as competitive gaming right now. So now that you cater this game to the pro circuit, you've also fucked over people who honestly don't give a shit by dumbing down content. Back in Destiny 1, The Crucible was dominated by special weapons that couldn't be balanced. Y'all remember that shit? Snipers and shotguns ruled that motherfucker, and then eventually sidearms came into play because they took away all the goddamn ammo. In Destiny 2, all of that was moved to the power weapon slot, with the exception of the sidearms, which is leading to more primary gun battles. Cool, right? That sounds like a better idea, is to get a good old-fashioned gun skill as to who the best player is. But the big scoring change is that now assists are added to your kill-death average. Now it's kills and assists to death ratio. By doing that, it makes getting assists more beneficial, adding in a slower time to kill. And what has this game turned into? Gigantic team shot battles. If for some reason you're playing solo, doing your own thing, chances are you're going to be ganged up on. Chances are you're going to see 2, 3, fuck it, sometimes even all 4 players on the other team coming at you at once. And while you might hold your own against 1, maybe even 2 people, you can't take out a whole team with just your primary weapon. Now, obviously, heavy weapons and supers make it possible to wipe out a whole team, but team shotting has replaced the montage moments of snipers and shotguns ruling the Crucible. While I prefer this problem over the gun balance issues, essentially, the best way to play the Crucible right now is to move as an entire team. It's actually strategically smart to do this, but it's no longer optional. It's pretty much mandatory for teams to stick together in order to bump up all your kills in this game. Flanking can certainly occur, but you need to be coordinated. Solo hero moments will still happen, but usually it's going to happen with a super or heavy weapon. You won't see too many kinetic and energy moments of greatness and whatnot. You'll see them every now and then, but not as often. This kind of scoring change really benefits a more casual player because they would most likely be the ones that are in rooms going negative. Adding in assists to their scores gives them a chance to avoid going negative. It's a better concept for them because it inflates their stats to show that they won't be in the negative as much as long as you have a little bit of team shotting. So this is a bit of an oxymoron right now. This game was catered to MLG numbers with 4-man teams, yet the stats now include assists. The time to kill is much longer, leading to team shotting. The unfortunate reality is the original ways are not going to be much better than what we're going through now. Giving us the ability to kill faster isn't going to change the assist portion of the game. And taking away the assist stat from the Crucible is only going to make people team up even more because now everyone's going to want to kill steal. After you complete a match, you get tokens. All the fucking tokens you want. Oh god, man. This game's already been nicknamed Destiny 2 the Token King. But essentially, Crucible wins equal tokens. Trial wins equal tokens. The Iron Banner, which was a fucking joke, that equal tokens. Power levels are currently disabled, which makes you wonder what the fuck is the point of power levels anyway. Supers recharge incredibly slow, so you'll get like maybe 1 super per game, and through some amazing luck, possibly 2, and even more amazing, 3 supers in 1 game. Trials is still a horrendous shit show that Bungie has absolutely no desire to fix. You have paid carries occurring every week, then the matchmaking system that completely ignores any resemblance of skill. It basically places you against a team with a similar number of wins and a decent connection to the host, regardless of who the fuck the other team is. That's it. Who gives a fuck about a competitive game mode that might actually be competitive? Shit, you might as well just remove the losses from trials these days if you want the casual kids to get some tokens and high-level gear, because what's the fucking point of power levels in the game if they have no effect on the gameplay itself? It's fucking stupid. Iron Banner was dumbed down to basically a token collection game with these 3 daily challenges for more fucking tokens, and at the end of all the tokens, the rewards might not be Iron Banner themed, so what the fuck was the point of that? Regular matchmaking has its own issues because you can get 8 randoms in a room and for whatever the fuck reason, it will put all the top players on one side and all the fucking potatoes on the other side. I don't know why that shit always happens, but the top 3 players always go to one team. I go to the other team with 3 fucking potatoes on my team. It's fucking irritating, man. The Crucible has a huge identity crisis, which is leading to this mess. On one hand, the 4 versus 4 change was clearly made with MLG in mind. On the other hand, the game wanted to be accessible to casual players. With some of the more dedicated elements of the game, they were stripped down into fucking tokens. Casual players can be put on the same fucking team against experienced players completely randomly. Plus, power levels are basically decoration in this game. You allowed us to get all the way up to 305 very quickly, and then you know what? Fuck it, it doesn't even matter in the goddamn Crucible. This is leading to both sets of players getting frustrated right now. So here's what they need to do to fix the fucking game. First off, 4 versus 4. take that shit away. Maybe with the exception of Trials. But Clash, Control, Supremacy, Countdown, all of these game modes are perfectly fine in a 6 versus 6 environment. If you want the ultra competitive mode to be MLG ready, fine. I don't have a problem with that shit. But all the other shit needs to revert back to 6 versus 6. The fact that a team can play Trials together 4 versus 4, the fact that you could play Iron Banner 4 versus 4, and then you say, you know what, I'm tired of this shit, I want to go do a public event. Who do you drop from your team? Oh, only the 3 of us, and we're going to ask you out because we can only allow 3 people? No, that's fucking bullshit. Or let's go raiding. Now we got to find 2 more people. Oh, look, there's another team of 4 in the Crucible. Let's ask 2 of these motherfuckers. Come on, man. The 4 versus 4 shit had absolutely no mathematical value in the game. It does not equate to anything in the fucking game. It's such an awkward amount to get another party going, and it's such an awkward amount to lead to another activity. It's gotta go. Hands down, get rid of that shit. Another change. Bring back private matches. Without the ability to cater a match to specifically a room's needs, this name's never going to be MLG ready anyways. They always want full control what players can and can't use. So without the ability to offer MLG rules through private matches, the 4 versus 4 shit is going to be pointless anyways. Bring the fucking thing back. Allow people to play private matches if they don't want to go into rooms and playing all these assholes that play the Crucible right now. Have the stats page show kills and assists, and not deaths. If you're going to water down the statistical numbers in the game anyway, then adding assists into kills is not the answer. If you want to casualize the game, then remove death amounts on the scoreboard if you're so fucking worried about kids crying about their kill-death ratio. That solves the stats issue, and might actually get people to focus more on killing instead of just team shotting the whole time to get fucking assists. Make power levels matter in events, Trials and Iron Banner in particular. The rest of the shit doesn't need to be affected. But the main 2 modes that are supposed to be your 2 top Crucible events are now pointless without power levels actually counting. Fix the matchmaking algorithm. If you have 8 people in a lobby, all random, no parties, and 4 of them have a kill death average over 2 and the other 4 are under 2, then don't match the 4 good randoms against the fucking 4 scrubs against them. Even that shit out. Match the top player and the 4th and 5th best player in the room, and then the bottom player, all on one team. Then on the other team, put the 2nd best player, 3rd best, 6th, and 7th. Right there, that is a balanced room of 8 randoms you can get. Now, obviously, if you have teams in a room, parties of 2, parties of 3, you're going to need to alter how good the composite of the teams are a little differently. But at the very least, that's a start on how to get these fucking rooms a little bit more balanced. Get rid of the token system. This is more of a widespread change across the whole fucking game. But the fact that you can get tokens for random gear for every fucking vendor is truly ridiculous. It's one of the things to rank up and get rewards, but to sit here and pay fucking tokens to a vendor for random shit? At least let me buy the shit that I want, motherfucker, like armor or weapon. But no, we're just gonna let you trade in tokens and give you some random shit. Get the fuck out of here with that shit, man. Trials needs its own fixes. I'm not going to detail that shit right here. But ultimately, people doing carries should be playing in the same pool against one another. Making a ranked system of people who went flawless this week versus those who aren't flawless would be the ideal way to sort this shit out. Instead of just having 2 teams with the same number of win totals on the ticket, just alter the pools that teams can enter. Your team went flawless, you have a player that went flawless, you play in this pool. Your team doesn't have anyone that went flawless, you play in the scrub pool. That's the easiest way to resolve that shit. And finally, bring back Rumble. Players like to play solo against one another, and that is the best way to give them something else to play besides having to play a team and be team shot the entire fucking time. Now, the one thing that you noticed that I did not mention or talk about was gun balance, because obviously over time this shit is naturally going to change. There's no need to get into this gun needs a buff, this gun needs a nerf, because you know what, Bungie's going to have data on that. They're going to take a look at what's been overused, underused, and then they're probably going to adjust the game down the road anyway. That's something they always do. But fixing the details of the game, that's more important. Rather than worry about fixing some of the content of this game than fucking up all the gun balance and saying, you know what, we need to nerf fusion rifles again. You know that shit is coming, man. Anyways, until Destiny fixes the fucking Crucible, it is once again the cancer of this fucking game. I just gave them plenty of ideas on how to fix this motherfucker. I'll guarantee you they ignore all this shit, completely bypass it all, and do some minor changes that players won't want. Because you know why? They let Luke Smith dictate what this game's gonna look like, and it looks like a piece of shit right now. So anyways, as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit, and I'll see you guys in the next video.